And man, if that's not symbolism for the whole goddamn movie, come on. She goes on a journey. She tells her in the beginning, it's gonna be hard.
Listen to me. I'm only gonna say this once. We are going on the trip now. It's going to be rough. It's gonna feel like it's going on for a long time, so it's gonna be hard to stay alert. It's gonna be even harder to be quiet, but you have to do both.
It's gonna be tough. You better not look. It's gonna be the toughest thing that you've ever been through. And when you think about this story, it's like he went on this journey, he climbed a tree. But when he got to the end, when he got to the top, there was beauty there. There was beauty there because that's just how the universe is. We go through these crazy journeys, these arduous journeys, these ups and downs and all this stuff just to get to this moment of just clarity and peace and just ness.
Camera's rolling and action. Action. So.
What it is. What it is, y'all. Came with Earth back again for yet another video. This is actually my new backdrop now, the lemon tree. It's beautiful, and the energy coming from this tree is just amazing. It's so welcoming and warming, and it's just saying to me, record in front of me. Use me as your backdrop. So these are my friends, all of them, the lemons, the leaves, the bark of the tree, everything. But anyway, so BirdBox, the movie that everybody's talking about right now. Man, what an amazing movie. It was great. And so first and foremost, I want to establish that this is actually my first video of this kind. What I want to do is I want to begin, kind of doing I want to begin, and I'm beginning doing movie and book reviews, but from my perspective, from my spiritual lens, from my focus, and to maybe share some underlying principles that are in basically all of these movies that I watched, that maybe the average person wouldn't see at first, or they don't really catch that. So I just kind of want to break some things down, so more people can understand the movies and maybe what the directors and the cinematographers and the writers were actually trying to convey, or to interpret an interpretation of that. Now, please don't mind me. I will have my phone because I took some notes as I was watching the movie, so I just want to make sure I don't forget things and I make sure I bring everything up. But again, BirdBox. I know what you also hear is the bird, which is perfect. It's perfect. BirdBox was dope, man. It was, spoiler alert, please. Don't watch this if you haven't seen the movie, please. Unless you don't mind being spoiled by what I'm gonna say, and you'll still watch it anyway. The movie was basically about there being an entity, a dark energy, that when they saw it, it basically played on their deepest and darkest fears. So let's start right there.
Oh my God, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is what? What the fuck is what? Yeah, what the fuck is what?
Let's start right there. They're going off already, okay? So let's just understand that in life, in reality, only when you are in your darkest moments, your low vibrational moments, is when these darker energies or these beings can feed off of you. That's the only space that they can exist in, where they can actually make some sort of influence or make some sort of impact on your life and your decision making. And that right there is just the beginning, right there. Energy exists that when they look at it and they stare it in the eyes, it begins to remind them of their deepest sorrows, their darkest fears, and they just kill themselves.
Damn.
They just kill themselves. So that right there is just one principle, Stay in high vibration, and you don't have to worry about dark entities entering your space. That's just that. But moving on, the journey or the story was of Sandra Bullock, the main character, trying to get these two kids from the craziness and where all the energy was and where everything was happening to the safe haven. And the safe haven ended up being a school for the blind. So let's now that we know the story, let's now break down a few things that I feel are important in this. The movie is called BirdBox. And the movie is called BirdBox because throughout the story, Sandra Bullock and the children have a box with like maybe I think it's 3 birds in it. And here's the thing. One, these birds were like the key. The birds, she found them in a supermarket, and the birds were allowing them to feel or know when the darker energy was around. They were literally warning them throughout the movie. And also the birds were like an omen. They were an angelic omen for the characters. And that right there, let's understand that. And some people say, oh, the birds were just, maybe it's a coincidence that the birds just knew. No, everything is connected. Everything is connected. So the birds understand that there's danger lurking because they're connected to nature. They're connected to the universe. And they maybe they have a sense that we don't have. But that connection needs to be recognized. That connection needs to be understood because then we can use that to our advantage. We can use that to know more about our reality. Everything is connected. The birds are making it's all one thing, So I think that it's important to if you go back and look at the movie, watch the connection between the birds and the danger, and notice the awareness that the birds have of everything that's happening and how they were trying to actually help the humans. And even in that sense, there was all this grave danger around. There was everything that was happening. People were dying. People were just killing themselves. Accidents were happening. But there was this light. There was a light. And the light again came in the shape of the birds. There's always, and just in general, as you go through life, there's always going to be, no matter how far and down out you think you are, or how in such a rut or in such despair or depression or whatever that you think you are, there's always something. And it can be as small as literally the space in between my fingers. There's always something that can lead you back to here. And again, in this movie, I feel that the director and the writers put that in there. I mean, I don't look again. I can't tell you that this is what these people felt and this is exactly what they wanted to convey. But what I like to do is extract. I like to extract the divinity and the angelic nature lessons from these everyday movies or situations, because it's all connected. It's all one thing. As above, so below. We're always in unison with just how the universe on macro and micro levels. So again, the birds were that light, for the humans, which eventually led them to safe haven. The birds led them to where they were actually safe. Now I also want to go to some foreshadowing. In the story, I can't remember the character's name. The main black guy in the movie. He played in Moonlight. I just can't remember his name, and I'm sorry. I'll do better with that next time. But he wanted to tell the children a story, and the story was of when he was a child, and this actually happened to him. He was exploring one day, and he climbed a tree. Now to climb a tree that takes effort. That takes some sort of ambition, and you got to know that there's a risk of falling. There's a risk of slipping and injuring yourself. But he decided to, climb the tree anyway. And as a child, you're just a little more adventurous, so you do things like that. And he said, and which we later found out by Sandra Bullock, is that when he got to the top of the tree, there was a nest, and there were birds there. And he said he admired the birds for a little bit, and then the birds flew away. And man, if that's not symbolism for the whole goddamn movie, come on. she goes on a journey. She tells her in the beginning, it's gonna be hard.
Listen to me. I'm only gonna say this once. We are going on the trip now. It's going to be rough. It's gonna feel like it's going on for a long time, so it's gonna be hard to stay alert. It's gonna be even harder to be quiet, but you have to do both. You have to do every single thing I say, or we will not make it. Understand?
It's gonna be tough. You better not look. It's gonna be the toughest thing that you've ever been through. And when you think about this story, it's like he went on this journey, he climbed a tree. But when he got to the end, when he got to the top, there was beauty there. There was beauty there because that's just how the universe is. We go through these crazy journeys, these arduous journeys, these ups and downs and all this stuff just to get to this moment of just clarity and peace and just ness. And guess what? You gotta come back down and you go on another journey and you go on another journey. But I see this movie as a slice of life, a slice of enlightenment, a slice of lesson. Like, you're gonna go on journeys, but man, if it ain't a sweet thing at the end, come on. And I can tell you personally, you know, my life has been interesting. It's been a roller coaster for me, but man, if I haven't had so many, you know, amazing and satisfying moments, man, I would probably go crazy, man. I would probably really feel like, wow, my life really is shit, you know what I'm saying? But there's always another side to things, and you gotta see life like that. You gotta see it as this journey that there will be this lucky charm at the end, you know? But you don't go for that. You gotta realize that you're always in the moment, and in the movie, they were in the moment. They were in the moment. Yes, they knew they knew where they wanted to go, but they had to worry about now. And that's what we have to do. We have to worry about now. And in last but not least, what I want to get into is just, man, how it was the blind, it was the people that did not have sight that created this safe haven and showed this unconditional love to humans who probably don't think twice about a blind person. You know, we look down on people with disabilities, but everybody plays a role. And see that in this movie, the blind people played a role, the role that they needed to play. You wanna say what you wanna say about people with disabilities and make fun of them and blah blah blah, but everybody's here for a reason. And look what happened. The world was ending, things were getting crazy, and the blind people opened their arms because they didn't have to see. They didn't have to see. They weren't affected by the energy, you know? So they created this space, and man, that was just, that right there, man, that was humanity right there. That was understanding. You know, the director had to understand the reality of yin and yang, of energy, given ebb and flow, give and take. He had to understand the process of just knowing that where this is high, this is low. And when this is low, this is high, and we gotta help each other out and to come in the middle. That movie was amazing. It was great. It was phenomenal. It was a huge, just feel good cinematic presentation for me. So if you haven't seen BirdBox, or if you have seen it and you would like to review it, re-see it from another perspective, please do that and comment below. You know, subscribe, please. But, you know, comment and let me know what you thought of this video and how it did relate to the movie, how you did or maybe didn't see what I was talking about, and, you know, just whatever. You know, this is an open discussion, you know, but I think that's all. You know, that this is my first, and I don't even know what I'm gonna call this damn series, but I'll definitely be reviewing more movies and books through time, and you know, this is life giving, and that's it.